hitting the cherries and the peaches and get the apples too. Didn't have enough to spray to use my battery powered sprayer. Got an 18-gallon. Mixed up about a gallon of the Monterey horticultural oil, the mineral oil, and put in some pyrethrins. By the 1.4 concentrate, it's 1.4% pyrethrin. It's called pyganic. We don't got that evergreen money. I got took over with the Japanese beetles. I hit that with neem oil and soap, got rid of all the beetles. Plus we got a few of them Japanese beetle traps. But now from all the damage, just like our indoor plants, resistance is down. Just wide open door for any pest, disease, pathogens. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray them down. I'm noticing a lot of ants. That means we got aphids. You do see a little bit. We had some bad aphid problems on the apples. We knocked those out. I don't really notice much of anything. There was a black bug. I don't know what it was. I don't think it was an aphid though. Here are the three cherries. The Japanese beetles really took over the cherries, but got 2 Rainiers, and I forget what that sweet cherry was. We have the Haven peach. She is like tripled in size in the last 3 months. My Reliance peach. Go ahead and spray this while I'm here. Get the underside of the leaves. Make sure you get the stalk. So obviously, the horticultural oil does thrips. I prefer spinosad for thrips, but all this stuff will wreck your bees, but spinosad especially. But this mineral oil and the pyrethrin they both take thrips, they both take aphids. The mineral oil will fight powdery mildew and a lot of different fungal pathogens and diseases. So that's mainly why we're using it, to make sure we don't get no powdery mildew. And now goes from about 105 degrees to right now it's like 75 maybe, high of like 80. We're gonna start getting a lot of rains. You definitely want to make sure you're preventing powdery mildew and some other fungals. You can see we got lots of ants on this one. So, I mean, pretty much all these sprays, they'll talk about ants except for pharaohs, except for harvesters. Nothing's really great on ants. What you suggest for theirs, they got some different tape products you can put on the stalk. Because basically, where we see those, yep, there they are. This is the apple tree. Let me see if I can get zoomed in. You see ants, this is why. See that? All them apple aphids. So the ants are protecting them. They eat the secretions and basically poop eaters, but they eat what the aphids are leaving them. They're protecting the aphids. You bring some ladybugs in here to eat them aphids, all them ants are gonna swarm them. It's like a symbiotic bodyguard. So we're going to cover the apples really good. We'll probably come back in about 3 or 4 days and hit it with neem oil and soap. Got to disrupt that reproductive cycle. If not, 100 turns to 1,000, 1,000 turns to 10,000 very fast every few days. Die, bitches. And this is the same as our indoor plants and you medicinal growers. You don't want the light on it, so do it in the overcast, do it in the evening. Especially, you don't want to do this early morning peak day. One, because the sun will burn your plants. And 2, it'll kill all your pollinators. To take this back to the hive. Pull this up. I don't think I've done a layout of the apples, but here in the back we got our yellows and greens. We got a Candy Crisp, real sweet yellow apple. Right here we got a Granny Smith, obviously that's a green. Here we got the classic Golden Delicious. Sweet yellow. Trying a few different cider varieties. Here we got Fuji, big sweet red. Here we have a Honeycrisp crossed to a Gala. So another crunchy sweet red apple. Everybody say hi to Rip. It's not my dog, but he's here more than my kids are. We like Rip. Little neighborhood dog. We didn't like Rip when Rip was a puppy. Rip liked to rip out our grapes, our strawberries, anything I planted. He thought he needed more. So it looks like the only thing aphids are on had some damage on that Granny Smith, but that Candy Crisp. So it looks like in the years to come, I'm gonna have to focus on that Candy Crisp. They don't have a good resistance. Or it could just be a spraying protocol. Maybe I didn't get that one as good last time, but we'll definitely need to keep our eye on it because they seem to like that plant. So here are the Honey Crisp Crostagella. I've seen a lot of that Honey Crisp curl. A lot of the Honey Crisp and family varieties have a lot of leaf issues, but I'm noticing, got a moth on there, noticing some leaf damage. I didn't think the Japanese beetles hit this one, but it looks very similar. That could be anything. It could be a caterpillar, it could be the moth. So we're gonna just keep an eye on this plant and spray it real good. Got some discoloration in the leaves. It's a little harder for me to tell for powdery mildew and stuff on apples because they get that white powder anyway, especially on the node breaks. In the beginning of the season when your bud swells and then when they break open, you get panic. You get that gray, then green. It'll be like a gray fuzz. I'm gonna run out of spray before I hit my grapes and berries. Real excited about that apple. Go in here, I got the berries segregated on their own so I can put a bird X net on top where the birds don't eat all my berries. Got some banana trees in there I still haven't planted. Been waiting for this one. So this is the second grape I'm most excited about. It died. It was doing all this. It died, nothing came back. Something came off the bottom, so I'm really trying to keep it alive. This is ladyfinger, those oblong, real sweet green grapes. Let that grow another week or so, then I'll get something to put it on to tie it up to these trellises. What I do here, my Reliance died, so I got a new plant there. Very upset. Reliance was one of my favorites. And I think that one's a Somerset or a Canadice. One of them, we'll check the tags. I also have 2 more grapes up front. I got to come out here, figure out where I'm going to put another trellis for 2 grapes. For the grape trellises though, I just got 2 4x4s, some turnbuckles. You can buy these kits. They have a really fancy one. You drill a hole through it and you just put it in here. It's like a ratcheting system. You can pull it to make it tight, but it won't go in. So over the years, they get slacked. You can just pull them tighter. Where now, see this turnbuckle is all the way tight. I got to cut that, pull the slack out, and then redo it. Or just hopefully the grapes take up the slack and put weight on it. Here's my little berries. Right here we have an aronia berry. It's the Viking berry. Got some blueberries. Here's the sweetheart berry. We just planted that about a week or 2 ago. Here we have the pink lemonade. It's a pink blueberry. Real excited about that. Have the North Blue blueberry. And here we have the Patriot. So here we have the Lakemont. Getting ready to prune that actually because we don't need it to continue growing up to the sky. I wanted to wait. I was going to propagate that, but I got a lot of side branches I'm going to propagate. But pretty much what I want is just one run all the way up. I'm gonna run 2 cordons, left, right. So you don't get grapes. I'll do a lot of videos on pruning the trees and stuff too, because every one of these have to be pruned different. 1st year production, 2nd year production. But grapes have to produce on last year's wood. So pretty much, like this one right here, I'm gonna prune this so this can grow as long as possible. If this grows 6 to 8 nodes out here, that's where I'm going to get grapes next year. But if I snip it here and this don't grow, next year I have to grow this out I like 8 buds on each side. All 4 cordons have about 8 fruiting sites. Grow that out, and then the following year I'll get grapes. So I won't get grapes on none of this. This one I'll get grapes next year. I'm gonna make sure. That's why I kept this one. I'll get grapes on that, strip everything off of this, and make that establish my cordons. But I am getting some grapes next year. And over here, that was a green grape, Lake Mont. It's like a greenish white kind of. This is the Canada Ice. That's like a pinkish color. Greens up front. I gotta order another Reliance. I gotta get some purplish black grapes back in here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spray these up. I was gonna wait. I wanted to do a lot of propagating, but well, I mean, we'll still have growth this year. So in the fall, I'll be able to snip a bunch of clippings, propagate them, and have grapevines. Eventually, I got a bunch of rootstock. I got a bunch more rootstock coming about winter time frame. So I'm going to have grafted fruit trees, lots of apples on dwarf and semi-dwarf stock. So eventually the Etsy store, the website, all that'll be good to go. Still got a few more permits and license to get. But that's the end goal, is to be able to sell fruit local, give a lot of fruit to my friends and family, and sell trees local and online. And of course vines, bushes, all that. So wish me luck. Hope to see you all in the future. Wish me luck. If you guys like this, I thought about making another channel, who knows. If you like this content, let me know. Start your own little mini home orchard, vineyard. Within the next year or two, I'm gonna strip probably an acre, do a lot of apples. I thought about another ½ acre or so of strawberries, but we'll see where it goes. As you can tell, cannabis is a gateway. Not a gateway to using, but it's a gateway to gardening. Y'all have a good day.